Okay, everybody, nothing is easy, right? So this is supposed to be streaming into the Goddess Way to six figures Facebook group, but apparently I can't do that today. And I don't know why, because I have done it in the past. So right now I am streaming on my business page, Align, Believe, Create. So we'll get this over to the other Facebook group somehow. But I want to thank everybody who's here right now or everybody who's watching. And this is my free training. I do a monthly free training, generally around the Goddess Way to Six Figures methodology. And today I'm talking about your irresistible offer and crafting titles that sell that offer for you. So I'm Carol Ann DeSimone, and I am the creator of the Goddess Way to Six Figures methodology. Align, Believe, Create, On Purpose Coaching is my business name. And I work with entrepreneurs, coaches, spiritual entrepreneurs mostly, who are at 5 figures and just can't get to 6. You've got all the things in place, but for some reason you're stuck and you just can't get beyond that point. And I just want to remind you that getting to 6 figures is the hardest part. And once you get to 6, then it's a lot easier to get to 7. So why am I doing this training today? Well, because I love to serve, and because I do consider myself an expert in creating irresistible offers and copywriting. I have been doing it for quite a long time. Originally, I've been in business for 16 years as of this month. I started out with Big Eye Media, a creative services agency providing print marketing materials and publishing to small business owners. And then I decided I wanted to leverage my worth, and I created an online program, a signature system, the sizzle system of personal branding. And my tagline was create a brand that is red hot. So there's a good example of how a title and tagline works together. Hi, Rosalind. Welcome, to really provide a little bit of more information to the viewer on what they can expect, right? Because the sizzle system says nothing really. Now the sizzle system of personal branding says a little bit more, but create a brand that is red hot gives you an idea that, this is not going to be boring, right? You've got to be a certain type of person who wants to have a red hot brand. So that was my first signature system. And since then, I've created many, many programs. My clients come to me mostly because they need help with their offers, with their messaging, and with really packaging their gifts, talents, and purpose. So the one big thing that sets me apart from many, many entrepreneurs or gurus who do the same thing that I do is I work strictly with women, not just women, but men too. But you know why you're here. You have a purpose, you've got experiences, and you want to serve your people through those experiences. Okay, I just froze up. Okay, if you can hear me right now, I did freeze, so I'm just pausing for a couple of seconds because this happens every once in a while, but I will be right. Titles tell, taglines sell. And I just have a few statistics. I do have some notes because this is a free training. I don't do a lot of slides or anything like that. The reason I'm doing this is I'm holding a 4-hour workshop on Friday, January 28th, called How to Make Your Offers Irresistible. How to package and promote your gifts, talents, and experience to have your ideal clients raise their hand to say, yes, that's for me. And so I'm doing a training today around titles because my workshop is really at a higher level. I've designed it for my mastermind members. They have offers. They need to sell more of their offers and enroll more clients. So they know why they're here. They've got titles. They don't want to change them. So I'll be teaching my 10 ingredients of an irresistible offer and break that down into 4 areas, which is the inner beliefs and confidence, because that's really where it starts to create an irresistible offer. And then from there, we go to understanding your ideal client, what they want and what they need, and then making heart connections. And then the 4th part of that is the tangibles and deliverables and things that you need to put into your offer that are going to help your clients know that it's for them, that yes, they can get the results that you promise and to overcome objections. So there's a lot that goes into an offer, right? And so much more than a title, but a title is where it starts. Now, let's start here though. What is an offer? An offer is not your course. I say this, the invitation that you extend to get a specific result. Your offer has to be something that your ideal clients want. It has to be something that you can deliver easily in the most streamlined way as possible. And your offer to be irresistible has to have clear, concise messaging so people understand what it's about. Okay, I'm freezing again. So I'll just review my notes until I come back, and I apologize. So somebody in my Facebook group, I always, I have questions, and one of the questions is when they come in, what do you want to learn? And so just some things I want to mention. Hey, Renelle, welcome. Your headline is the first and could be the only thing that your prospective future clients see, because it's going to be the first point of contact that they have with you in many cases, right? And it's how I got you to come to this training, because you were attracted to the title somehow. But it's really the first impression that you make when you put your offer out there. And people are going to say, this is for me, or they're going to say, this isn't for me, and they're going to move on. And I just want to mention that every sentence of your copy, the purpose of each sentence, your title, your subtitle, and then that copy that comes below that, is to get the reader to move on to the next sentence. So all your copy is very, very important, but your title is the most important. And without a compelling promise that turns a browser or a scroller into a reader, the rest of your words may not as well exist, right? Because if nobody's reading them, then what good is writing all this copy? It starts with your title. So from a marketing and sales perspective, the success of your offer starts with a great title, and you want your audience to subconsciously select this offer and say, this is for me, because they're going to be making a decision, a judgment, whether they're aware of it or not. So copywriting works on the subconscious level, and it starts with your title. So an interesting statistic, on average, 8 out of 10 people will read your headline copy, but only 2 out of 10 will read the rest. And if you know anything about conversion rates and conversions on opt-in pages and sign-up pages, then you probably already know that this is true, right? So 300 people might visit your page to register for even a lead magnet, and 150 of those people will actually sign up for your lead magnet. So that's why even a lead magnet, I'm talking, about a free gift that's going to help build your list or build your audience. You even have to sell that. And I teach this in a different course. So I'm not teaching this in my workshop, but when you have a freebie, you have the title of your freebie, people click on that, they go to a page to download it. If that, and it's called an opt-in page, if that opt-in page isn't engaging enough and gives them reason to actually give you their email address and name, if that's what you're asking for, to get that free content, they're not going to do it. So you're always, always, always selling, whether there's money exchanged or not. So you've got to really learn how to get your titles right first. So titles are short hooks, right? And you've got to be really specific and concise. It's kind of redundant, but that's really what's going to hook them in to read the rest of your copy. So a title doesn't always stand alone. A title has a subtitle or a tagline to back it up. So you don't have to be that specific in your title or that compelling in your title. You have a little bit of leeway there as long as you have a subtitle that is going to explain a little bit more. So your title, again, is going to be the first thing that your viewers see when you are making an offer or you're putting something out there for them to sign up for. And online, here's a very sad fact, you have maybe 3 seconds to grab your viewers' attention before they make a decision whether this is for them or not for them. So that's why your title needs to be compelling. Now, I taught a publication layout and design for 10 years at university, and the question was always, what's more important, your copy or your images, right? Or your design, copy or design. And really, when online, people may be attracted to an image, but a title, because of the way it looks and because it's generally really big, the title also serves as an image. So think about that. So you might have an image that somebody's attracted to, but it's really the title that's going to draw them in. And you want your ideal clients to know that this is for them when they read that title. So again, the title and the tagline have to communicate together the benefit. Here's a couple of examples. Now, I invite you to take notes. I did not want to create slides. I'm creating slides for my workshop. And let me just put the title, the link to that in the chat if I still have it. Whoops, that's not it. Okay, I will get that. Let me see. Okay, there is the link to my workshop in case you're interested. And I do have a special offer for anybody who signs up today. It is $197, but it's 4 hours interactive, and you will come away with your gifts, talents, and purpose packaged into an irresistible offer. This isn't about creating an offer. It's about dialing in your offer to make it irresistible. So I just want to make that clear. So here are a couple of titles, and some of these you may be familiar with. I'm also a book mentor. So, I'm not really here to talk about that, but I just think that these are good titles to use as examples. So there's somebody out there who's very, very popular, and she has a program, and she's known as this, called Write a Book in a Weekend. That's a great title, right? Give me a yes in the chat if you think that's a great title. If you're interested in writing a book, Write a Book in a Weekend is very, very specific, right? But your title also has an energy to it. When I hear write a book in a weekend, I immediately say, oh no, that is not for me. It's very clear cut. If I join this program, I'm going to write a book in a weekend, but there's no guarantee that it's going to be a quality book. And to me, that title says, oh no, I'm going to be locked up holed up in my office, typing all weekend. Why? To create a shitty first draft. I didn't make up that term, by the way, but I don't want to spend a whole weekend coming away with a shitty first draft, because I know enough to know that a good book is not written in a weekend, because you still have to do the editing, the layout, the cover. So you might have some content, you might have a manuscript, but that manuscript is going to be far from done in a weekend. So yes, it sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to do that work. A lot of people, though, are drawn to that, and that's fine. And some people do write a book in a weekend. I'm not here to criticize or judge or anything. I'm just here to demonstrate that a title has an energy to it. So here's the title of my book program. Just Do It Right Now. Start Your Movement 90-Day Book Plan. So it's got a certain energy to it as well. I mean, type in the chat what that says to you. To me, because I created it, and just do it has always been my motto. And I know my people, right? A lot of my people say they want to have a book written. They want to write a book. Maybe they have, 1,000 words written, 10,000 words written, but they just don't know how to get started to turn it into a book. And a lot of my people are procrastinators. I mean, that's a big problem, right? So just do it right now expresses urgency. But I also say, start your movement 90-day book plan. And there's two parts in that subtitle. Start your movement, which indicates that you're going to write a meaningful book, and you're going to have a powerful message that is going to effect some kind of change, or really, show the world what you stand for. And then 90-day book plan, which feels a little bit spacious, but not so spacious where there's not an endpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to write your book in 90 days. So 3 months from now, you're still going to have time to go play with your kids, your grandkids, go out on those dates and get your book done. And it's a plan. So that suggests that there's some kind of structure to it. So really think about that. And I want you to use this not only when you are writing your own titles, but really take notice when you're looking for a program or something you need help with, and really be discerning when you interpret what the titles mean. It's an art. So here's another one that I was just on a training and she mentioned this, and I don't know that this is her title, but it made me think. Subconscious reprogramming, align with your soul's purpose. And that's what she was talking about. And my question was, well, how does reprogramming your subconscious help you to align with your soul's purpose? Maybe it empowers you to live your soul's purpose. But again, like, you've got to really make sure that what you're saying isn't just industry speak, right? So more people, because people who are, and I just did like 16 human design readings free. And trust me, there are a lot of people out there who are trying to live their soul's purpose, but I'm sure that they would never consider that, subconscious reprogramming has anything to do with that. It's got to be more specific. Here's a couple more. And the key that the point I'm making here is that when you are brainstorming titles for your own offers, whether it's a discovery call, whether it's a course, a program, a coaching package, everything needs a title. But get very, very specific on what your clients are looking for and where they are in their process. For example, and if you have an offer called Online Marketing 101, that's pretty self-explanatory, right? It's when you say 101, it indicates that this is for entrepreneurs, whatever, who are looking for, how do I say this? Who are just getting started in their marketing. It's not advanced marketing principles. So a subline could be for Online Marketing 101, how to get your message out to the world, or something like that. Automate your sales. Now, automate your sales is pretty specific, right? But it's not saying what kind of sales, and it's not speaking to who it's for. So your title should speak to who it's for as well. And the reason I say this is that, and many entrepreneurs who come into my Facebook group, and when they ask that question, what do they want to learn? They say, how to scale my business. Well, you're not at the point where you're scaling your business until you're at 6 figures. So to say automated marketing, I think that needs a tagline to say who it's for, right? The other thing you want to do is get as close to expressing the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions of your clients too. So for example, a title might be for a weight loss program, because there's so many weight loss programs out there, but lose 10 pounds in 30 days without starving yourself or exercising yourself to death, right? So that again is an energetic that makes it sound like it's easy. I don't know how easy it's going to be. Okay, so here's a common one, Marketing Made Easy. That is, I believe, Amy Porterfield's podcast, right? So titles, you have to pick a good title for your podcast as well. But that's a good name for a program as well, Marketing Made Easy. That could be that is for entrepreneurs. Heart-to-heart sales. Now, I just threw these out. I didn't add some subtitles to them, but they're pretty good titles on their own, but they still need a little more specificity to say who they're for. So I'm going to give you some tips that I've come up with. And this is kind of, bringing it all together. But title tip number 1 is to speak to the solution to the problem. I already mentioned that, but that is the most important thing that you need to understand. Your title needs to speak to the result, outcome, or benefit that you provide and that your clients are looking for. Because we all know that when you're speaking, when you're crafting your titles, you're not speaking to everyone. You're speaking to that specific person that you work with and that you want to attract. Now, specificity sells. Your title should be crystal clear on what your clients will achieve or how they will get that result. Again, write your book in a weekend. Lots of wannabe authors out there. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I could write a book in a weekend, right? I mean, I have a lot of experience in publishing and writing, so I know I'm not going to fall for that, but lots of people would. And by the way, I did go through that program, or at least I sat in on a weekend thing. And yeah, I mean, it wouldn't help me to write a book in a weekend. I'm just telling you that. So a title with a clear promise or guarantee of results will attract your ideal clients, and so will be energetic of your title. So another one is talking about energetics, and this is pretty specific. And I had a program, a beta program, and I called it Irresistible Offer Mastery. But I'm rethinking that, because what that says is that I'm going to give you everything to create an irresistible offer in 90 days. And so I'm backing off on that. I'm revising that program, because what I'm seeing now in the marketplace is that people don't really want that. That's more like a year-long program to really master your irresistible offer. So I'm dialing that down a bit. But anything that has mastery in the title is going to be pretty intense, right? You can expect it to be pretty intense or to be for experts. So think about that too. That I think that goes under the category of energy and urgency too. So title tip 2 is to use a tagline or subtitle for clarity. And again, a great title should be short and sweet and to the point. And then the subtitle really adds the benefit or explains the benefit further. I have a couple of books by my authors, and I'm just going to mention them. This one is called Live Life Again now, or Love Life Again. Now that doesn't say much, right? But the subtitle is A Guide to Overcoming Your Midlife Crisis. So if this were a course, I would say, yeah, call it Live Life Again, but then the subtitle or tagline would be Overcome Your Midlife Crisis or something to that effect, because now we know it's for people who are going through a midlife crisis. So you want to have the who in there too. Here's another one. Now, this is the title of her program. It's called the Golden Shadow Method, right? So if you're familiar with Carl Jung, you probably know what the golden shadow is, but not everybody does. And she has a method where she incorporates this to help you live, reveal your golden shadow. But her tagline is a path of awakening your full human potential. Now, we all know that there are many, many ways to awaken our full human potential, but her method is the Golden Shadow Method. So this is really a wonderful example, and it's short and sweet. Here's my book, Girlfriend, We Need to Talk About Your Brand. Now, this is based on the Sizzle system, but that really doesn't say a whole lot, right? This is a workbook. So my tagline is go from stuck to sensational in 90 days. That's a clear-cut outcome, right? We're not just going to talk about your brand. We're going to take you from stuck to sensational in 90 days. So that's how taglines work. And the other thing is you want to be relevant, right? You don't want to include the how, but you want to allude to the how and the who in many, many cases. So I just want to run this by you. Tell me what you think, because I was in a group and he had this program, this guy had this program, and we liked the name Better Butts over what he had, which I forget what it was. But what resonates better with you? Better Butts, standing on its own. I mean, you get an idea of what that's about, right? Or have a better butt, same thing, only more words. And then there's the Better Butt 90-day blueprint. Now, to me, that's not an option, because when you're thinking about getting a better butt, a blueprint suggests that you're going to get a PDF printout, right? And follow some kind of program. I don't think that's what this program is about. But this is just to exemplify what it means to be relevant. That doesn't work. It's a misaligned blueprint, doesn't go with that. So the other thing that I did was I came up with another one with a tagline. The Better But Promise, 90 days to firm, lifted, and luscious. Now, do you see how that paints a picture? Yeah, it's funny. I see you laughing there, right? I laughed too when I wrote that. So anyway, here are some questions to consider when you're crafting a subtitle. How can you further expand on the desirable outcome? And what are the biggest pain points that your subtitle can address? And how can you include your innovative solution or your secret sauce? Okay, so title tip 3, make it relevant to the client you want to attract. Here's just some examples. Experts speaking system. So what this suggests is that, there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there who are experts who want to get out there and start talking. And this is for those experts. Entrepreneurial sales system. Entrepreneurs are a little bit different than somebody who sells widgets, right? Here's my program or my brand, The Goddess Way to Thrive in Business. So there's really 3 parts. I'm going to break this down. The Goddess Way is my methodology. To thrive is the outcome. In business says who it's for, right? I mean, goddess, a lot of people are using that term goddess, but I'm specifically about working with entrepreneurs. And here's one for my client. We came up with this just last week, the Joyful Mom. And she had chosen for her program or Facebook group and her podcast, You Matter Too, Mom. And that was not resonating with me. So I said, how about the Joyful Mom? So now she's going to have the Joyful Mom podcast and also the Joyful Mom Facebook group. Now, does that mean the people she's attracting are joyful? Probably not. They want more joy, right? So they're going to be looking for more joy. Use alliterations to make your title easier to read and remember. You can also use, when I had the Sizzle system, Sizzle was an acronym that stood for the modules in my system. And it also had other meanings too that I don't want to go into now, but that's another way of picking a title. Make sure you use words that your audience is going to relate to. For example, I really don't relate to the word badass, and I'm in a program now and she keeps using the word badass, and some other people don't really like it. And somebody from outside of the United States honestly did not know what the word badass meant. And that's an issue. So think about that too. Now, I have to say my first mentor had a program called Be a Business Badass. And that was my very first investment. I did not buy it because of that word. I bought it because I saw her speak. And she was talking about leveraging your worth as a badass. And that's what sold me, not the title. I mean, even the Goddess Way, that's not clear, but a lot of women who want to step more into their divine feminine are attracted to that. Okay, title tip 4, make it catchy, but not creative. I can't tell you that this is probably the biggest mistake I see. Even the Sizzle system was a little bit too creative, and I had to really get clear on that, what that was about. But you don't want your prospective clients to have to wonder what that title means because you're being creative using words or, plays on words or that sort of thing. Be specific. And here's an example. I have a client and she wanted to do a Facebook series and call it the 12 Days of Blissmas. I don't particularly like that, but I wasn't going to tell her that. But she was doing it after Christmas. And I said, well, it's not going to have, this goes back to relevance too. People aren't thinking about Christmas after Christmas. You've got to change that title. So I think she's settled on like the 12 Days of Bliss. And it's about going to these art places and bringing joy to people. And she calls herself the retirement renaissance coach. So your title, your expert title, is another way to get in there how you serve your clients and the results that you provide. So that's just an example. I had a program that was called Perception That Pays. Now, nobody knows what that means, right? But it was a webinar, and you can get a little bit more creative with webinars and free events. So my program was called Perception That Pays, 3 secrets that have people throw money at you. So that's the outcome, right? I mean, I'm going to teach you these secrets and people are going to start throwing money at you, right? And I was a branding coach back then, and it was about creating messaging that really communicated your value. And I did say that in the copy. I had to have bullet points that really explained what you will come away with. I had another one here. Let me see. Oh, here's another webinar. I'm really talking about offers here, but sometimes the offer does start with a webinar or a free masterclass. So here's one that I came across. Go from blank page to published author in 90 days and use your book to grow a 6-figure income. Now, I could use that title for my Just Do It Right Now program. I won't, but that's a long title, but it tells you exactly what you're going to get out of it, right? Here's my most recent masterclass, not my workshop, 5 reasons why you're not making 6 figures in your soul-centered business and what to do instead. When you're creating titles for a lead magnet, for a training, for a webinar, it's really a good thing to point out mistakes, right? Or how to take your 5-figure business to 6 figures without working harder or selling your soul, right? So when you add without, it really is a qualifier to tell a little bit more. So, some of those terms act as subtitles, even though they're not really considered a subtitle or a tagline, but they just add a little bit more information. So does anybody have any questions, or would you like me to comment on any of your titles or give you feedback? You can raise your hand or just unmute. Rosalind, you have a question?
Could you please repeat the goddess way? I mean, it was really good what you said, and then I couldn't write it down fast enough. And how you broke it down in terms of your methodology, but I got as far as the goddess way.
Yeah.
Could you please just repeat that?
Okay, I hope so. So my brand, my business is alignbelievecreate.com, and it gets a little bit convoluted because I say that I'm the creator of the Goddess Way to Thrive in Business brand. So the Goddess Way, that's my methodology, right? The Goddess Way to Thrive, that's the outcome.
That's the outcome, right?
Yeah.
And then business is
in business, and that indicates that it is for people in business.
Yep, that was great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's people are attracted to that, and people really, it resonates with a lot of women. So I like talking about it. So when you have something like that that really sets you apart, you're going to attract your people.
Such an art.
Yeah. Do you have a business?
Yes, have a business, and I've stepped back from it, and I'm looking at stepping back in and kind of rebranding and starting with doing some coaching to start doing just more personal relationships again, and also to really get a sense of where people really are and how my approaches are working, like what people are really needing, and then from there having a better idea in terms of any courses or things I may want to create, what the content is that people are really responding to, and also tweaking the way I do what I do from doing some coaching for a little bit. So Yes. And so I'm having a hard time with titling and, branding and messaging and all that. So that's why I thought I'd sign on today, say, hey, let me see if I can't pick up something here that might be helpful.
I hope you did.
Yeah, thank you.
So let me get this straight. Are you teaching
Sure.
people how to create courses or?
No, I am not. I'm actually I'm in the transformation field.
Mhm.
And, previously I've been a speaker and I've done workshops, workshop leader, et cetera. So I'm looking at doing transformational coaching initially to really just kind of deepen the work that I'm doing and getting a sense of what people are really needing versus what I think they're needing. And then coming back into just, speaking more, creating some programs, creating some workshops, creating content, based on really beginning to get a pulse of where people are and what they're needing versus what I think they may be needing and where I think they are, right?
Yeah. So my suggestion is to really, it starts with you. It starts with you. You have your solution, your methodology, your way of
Yeah, I'm working on it. Yep.
working with people. And then rather than seeing what they need, I mean, you're just speaking to what they need in a way that you can solve that problem. So you're not changing your solution, right?
Right. No, I'm not changing that at all. At the same time, I know that's my starting point. And, sometimes where we start and then where something is, sometimes they're a little bit different. And so I can learn a lot and grow from getting a sense of like where some people's pain points are, what is really happening, what's really going on. It just helps me to deepen what I do and understanding of how useful it is or how I may need to either tweak it or I may have some ahas and some thoughts, right, that I didn't before about the work that I do, just from kind of being on the ground for a little bit. So
Are you doing any market research?
I'm starting to. I'm really trying to work with, like, again, rebranding and messaging, trying to get some clarity. If you have any suggestions for me, since I'm thinking of rebranding myself as an authentic power facilitator. So that's like like the thing, the title that I do, but it doesn't say a lot about, what someone is promised or what happens. And I have to do a lot more work on tagline and being clear in a short little burst here of what authentic power, what does that mean? What does that look like for me? And, so I've got lots of challenges when it's just one
Yeah.
person trying to
So
figure
my
this out.
first, just a tweak, empowerment, not power, empowerment, authentic empowerment facilitator. I mean, that's exactly what you're doing. We, as coaches, we're not doing it for them. We're facilitating it, right? So I like that.
Okay.
I do like that, but I would have to know more about how you actually do that. Are you in a coaching or are you in groups facilitating? So, but I think that empowerment is something that people are looking for. I mean, I even called myself, I even put that in my title for a while because I realized that branding is really empowerment, right? But it wasn't resonating with the people who were looking for branding.
Right.
Personal development, it probably would.
I was playing with the tagline, a new way is possible. With it, that also sounded maybe a little bit too, there's direct speak, when you're also creating copy, it's a little more factual. And then there's the kind of more, feminine, which is a little bit more expansive. And I didn't know if a new way is possible is too vague. When people are some people are attracted to that. Other people want it. I want you to spell it out. I want to know exactly, what it smells like, what it tastes like, So I don't know if you had any feedback on that, a new way is possible.
What came to me was step into the possibilities. That's kind of more action oriented.
Yes, absolutely. It's brilliant, actually. And it's just that little tweet. See, right. There was something missing for me. New way is possible. I got it, but it seemed like it was too out there. But step into, which is action oriented, is something you can see yourself, feel yourself doing. I'm going to step into, what did you say? Sorry, I'm
Possibility.
tired. Step into
Or
the possibility.
step into possibility or new possibility. But possibility and new, pretty much, that's kind of redundant, right? To say new possibility. Yeah.
Are you working with people?
Yeah.
So are you pretty much doing program? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you want to connect, we can do that. I mean, I'm having a workshop on Friday. That would be a good starting point.
Yeah, I know, Sarah, that's definitely not possible, but I would definitely be curious if, can I go to your site and find out as a way to contact you and get an
Yeah,
idea?
I'm gonna give you my link right now to schedule. I should have brought this up. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I have lots of programs too, but yeah, I mean, what you're doing right now sounds great. You asked me about market research. I'm going to tell you the goddess way. The goddess way is real. Well, you should be talking to people. You should be asking people what they want and then listen to what they say. Oftentimes when you do that, they'll tell you they want the world, but you really should be listening to their language and using the words that they speak. The other way I like to do it is also to go to Amazon and, know your keywords, do a search, look at some books, and then read the reviews. Because oftentimes in those reviews, people will say, I've been trying to do this for years and such really solved this problem for me. So that kind of gives you an idea of what people are looking for in that realm. It's not perfect, but it's
No, but
very,
helpful.
it's efficient.
Right.
Because when you start talking to people, that's very time consuming.
And I have tried some interviews with people. I try to do it and I find it just kind of gets circular for me, because I think, as you say, people start saying kind of either what they think I want to hear there, and the specificity you think I'm kind of going to get by asking direct questions, it kind of still ends up being, all over there in some places. So this is good. And
here's the other thing. People don't often know what they want or what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a client who was just filling a program, and she was just going to find out what they wanted and let them drive it. And I said, no, you have to be the leader, because they don't know what they don't know. Right. So a lot of times that's the same kind of thing when you're talking to somebody and they don't really even know what's possible. So they're telling you stuff that doesn't matter. But, you do have to talk to people and see what they're saying.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Good luck. Yeah.
Thank you.
I look forward to connecting. Okay. Renelle, anything?
Oh, I like the suggestion to look at Amazon reviews, as a way of finding out what people are saying about their problems. So I wrote that down.
Okay, good. Do you have a business?
Yeah, I'm a new health and wellness coach, and I'm getting ready to take the national board exam for health and wellness coaches in May. So right now I just need a bunch of clients between now and March 3rd, so that I can meet the coaching log requirement to be able to take that exam.
Yeah, that's a huge task. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, because I could wait till October to take the test, but it takes 2 months to get the results, and I'm 67. I don't want to wait that long.
I get it. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how you're getting these clients, but Facebook groups are probably a good place for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a bunch, but I couldn't start scheduling them till today because that was the official completion of my advanced health coach training program, because it all has to be within a certain date. So, any little bit helps. So I appreciate being able to be here. I just saw the notification about this morning and I thought, oh, I'm free at noon. So
Oh, good. Yeah. So I just waited till today to send it out. So
Oh, okay.
a little behind, but I'm doing these free trainings once a month, and it's usually the fourth week. And I will create an event and invite everybody, and then I do send it out on my list, usually a little bit earlier, but this time I just didn't get to it. So yeah. Okay. Anything else?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being here, and I wish you the best of luck. And yeah, just, keep looking at my emails, reading my emails for what's coming up next. And Rosalind, schedule your call. I look forward to connecting. All right. Okay.
Right.
Bye-bye. Bye.